What type of realtor are you working with?
You're listening to Home Sellers Advantage. I'm your host, Aaron Zapata.
And I'm your other host, Todd Anderson. We are the Bald Brothers team at Impact Realty Group with Real Broker, and we are here to give you the Home Sellers Advantage.
You can find us online at www.baldbrothers.tv. Again, that's baldbrothers.tv.
Or you can call us at 833-305-BALD. That's 833-305-2253.
Oh, that's a good one. Well, welcome back to our show. We've been doing this a long time, both real estate and the show. We've got over 100 episodes out, and we have a lot of experience working with different kinds of realtors. And it never, ever seeks to surprise us when we enter to different transactions and the different personalities really come to life.
Yeah, and oftentimes when we begin to speak with a realtor who's representing their client, we can almost instantaneously identify what type of realtor we're working with.
Yeah, so we thought it'd be fun to try to find some TV characters that match the kind of real estate personalities that we deal with.
Yeah, so this is going to be a fun episode.
It will be fun, and hopefully it doesn't hit too close to home for you guys. I hope you're not offended, but this is real. Like, real estate attracts a wide variety of personalities into it as a career. And so, and we've dealt with them all. So why don't we get started with our list?
Yeah, so we actually, we enlisted the help of our assistant, our digital assistant, also known as AI, to try to come up with some different ideas. And so these are characters that hopefully you are ubiquitous, that you would understand when we go over them. So the very first one, you want to cover the first one?
Sure. It's the over-anxious realtor. And he's like George Costanza from Seinfeld. Everything is about ready to collapse at any moment. He overthinks every inspection item. They send 3 or 4 follow-ups in 12 minutes, and they're just always anxious. And the thought goes through their mind is, oh man, this could kill the deal. This could kill the deal. And that's going to be that anxious realtor that is on pins and needles every step of the way.
Yep.
And just like every escrow feels like impending doom, right?
Yeah. We've dealt with those, and the thing about the over anxious agent is that translates and that communicates to their clients. And so then not only do you have an over anxious agent, you have over anxious clients.
Right.
And they are a stressful basket case as well.
Absolutely. All right, let's go on to the next one.
Next one is the over-communicator. You've heard that communication is great, but sometimes over-communication can be an issue. And this is based off of Leslie Knope from Parks and Recreation. For those of you who are familiar with that program, she's the one who was always excited and was over-communicating. Based off of this character, this is the person who recaps emails of recap emails. She CCs everyone. She schedules calls to prepare for calls. And there's zero mystery about what's happening. We get those calls as well, don't we?
We do. Yeah, you're never underinformed. You always know what's going on. You know what? I have been shocked by some of the communication that I receive from other agents over the years. And sometimes I do scratch my head. I'm like, they just told me way too much. Yeah. Way more than I needed to know, way more than I should know. And sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad. But there is that over communicator that is, we deal with those. We work with them.
Yeah. And then I'll cover the next one since I'm more familiar with the program than you are.
You are.
But then we have the exact opposite of the over communicator, which is from the same program, the under communicator. And for those of you who are familiar with Parks and Recreation, that would be none other than Ron Swanson. And he's the one who is, you've all had those in your lives where somebody who you ask them a question, then they give you a one-word answer, and that's all you're going to get out of them. That's the classic Ron Swanson with a one-word response, will disappear for 48 hours, calm, quiet, and somehow still ends up to close the deal.
Right,
when you get to the end. But that's the type of agent where we're wondering what's going on. We haven't heard from you in a long time. Is there a problem? And
the text we get back is, everything's good.
Yep.
I was like, oh, that's it? Are we going to get a request for repair? Nope.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
So we don't, the over communicator and the under communicator, we prefer the just right communicator.
Right. Yeah, there is a middle ground in there. But you know what? Different personality types.
This is the deal.
It's got to be.
You have to be able to work every single one of these personality types. We have to be able to work with. And the good news is we have, and we can. And regardless of what the circumstances, we can get to closing. We just have to modify our expectations and modify our own communication to be able to communicate effectively with different agents.
Right. All right, number 4 on our list is the exaggerator. Okay, this is the person who is like every issue is dramatic. They want to sit you down and have a meeting for everything. And this is Michael Scott from The Office. Okay.
Yeah.
And you know, the reality is there's a lot of moving parts in a real estate transaction, and there's no one person that's in charge. Okay. But this person does also feel like they're always in charge. Like they have to be the one. And so, you know, and they say exaggeration things like they'll get a response, you know, from us or somewhere in the transaction for escrow or whatever. And they're like, oh, the client's going to hate this. They're going to hate it. And then they're going to look at you, stare like, it's all going to fall apart. And then everything actually works out just fine.
Yeah.
But there's always the exaggerator, you know. Yeah.
Yep. Then you have also from The Office. If you've got Michael Scott, you got to include Dwight Schrute.
Yes.
Who is the rule enforcer?
Yes.
Dwight Schrute. If you've ever watched The Office, he's the one that walks around and he just wants to have the power to be able to fire people,
right,
for breaking the rules,
right. And this is the person that, you know, the deadline to move out was 6 p.m. and it's 6:04, and you're literally driving out of the driveway, and they're upset because you didn't abide by the rules.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the person that, you know, the time frames are going to be enforced all the time, and we do think that time frames matter. So don't understand that
they
wrong.
do.
But this person is literally waiting there, looking at their clock on their watch and timing everything, you know, or just keeping track of every little thing.
They know every paragraph of the contract.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think something to remember here, just to kind of in the middle of that, is that the contract is the governing instructions for the transaction in order to keep it moving forward. But there are two parties involved in the transaction, buyer and the seller, and they are human. And humans have the right to override the written contract by action. And they could say, hey, look, we know that contingency was due today, but I understand there was somebody got sick in the family and you couldn't do the inspection on time. I get it. And we can move forward. We can change it. There is some options there. But the enforcer, no, we don't want to do that.
Yep.
But we have to remember that's good to have compromise a lot
That's
in a
right.
transaction.
That's right.
All right. Number next, the strategic controller. This is Walter White from Breaking Bad. You talk about that.
Yeah. Well, for those of you who are familiar with the Breaking Bad, I don't encourage you to go down the route of creating and manufacturing drugs and becoming a drug kingpin. But
that's good news.
Walter White was the strategic controller because the reason Walter White went so far in that program was because he was smart and he was always thinking multiple steps ahead. The strategic controller plays chess, not checkers. He anticipates the other's move. If I do this, if I say, hey, I'm going to offer you, I'm going to ask for a $10,000 credit, I'm expecting you to come back at a $5,000 credit. And guess what? I was hoping for $3,000 and I got $5,000. You know, he's the one who's really strategically thinking ahead and does not like to not be in control. Yeah. So the strategic controller wants to be in control at all times.
So the next one is the crisis closer. Okay, everything is like everybody's under pressure. It seems like everything's falling apart. We've got some bad guys in the situation, meaning like we've got just some issues that came up that need to be, you know, fixed, and it needs to be handled quickly, and it needs to be taken care of. And this this crisis closer is more like John McClane from Die Hard.
Yeah,
like, you know, he happened to be in the building at the right time when the terrorists broke in, and he's going to fight it out. He was going to walk over glass for his clients to make sure that the deal is done no matter what. And we love those agents. Actually, they do come through. and they
Hey,
make things happen.
We need John McClane's. He saves every escrow that should have died.
Yes.
Die Hard.
Especially Christmas escrows.
Yeah, escrows at Christmas time.
Yes.
That's right. It is a Christmas movie.
Right. So they, we do need those guys.
Then you have the next one. We're going back to The Office. You have the passive agent. And for those of you who know The Office, that would be none other than the HR rep, Toby Flenderson, the passive agent. This is the one who avoids confrontation and won't push unrealistic expectations. Hey, whatever works for everyone. He's real soft-spoken and just really does not insert themselves to get things done.
Right.
They kind of let things happen, and then they just roll with whatever happens. Well, I guess that's what it is.
That's what it is, and it just kind of works out sometimes.
Yeah.
They still close, but quietly.
Yeah.
Now there's the passive aggressive agent again. Back to The Office, although it's a comedian, comedy show. But Jim Halpert, right?
Yeah.
He is polite on the surface, but there's going to be some subtle digs in there, like, oh yeah, okay, I see that response. That's not going to work. There's just that kind of
some knowing looks at the camera.
Right, personality. Like, did you just really say that?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to fix this later.
Yeah.
Right. There's just that the what is on the surface is not necessarily what's going to happen afterwards. Okay, there's going to be that subtle calmness. And they're going to smile like, yeah, everything's great, and then not everything's great. Mm-hmm. So there's just that person. Now, the one that got actually removed here was Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, that's right.
So our AI assistant didn't keep that on the list.
Yeah, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Ferris bueller is
the ghosting agent.
The ghost agent, the agent that just disappears.
Yeah.
And you might go to the room and say, well, I guess he's there. I hear the snoring noises and there's somebody in the bed, but he's just kind of disappeared until the very end of the movie and he's back on scene.
Right,
So all of a sudden he appears when it's time to close and collect the commission check, I guess.
Well, and that is the guy that you realize went to Cabo like during your transaction. You had no idea.
That's right.
He just like,
and we have had that.
We have.
Where,
like,
all of a sudden
you?
we have no contact with the agent, come to find out they're out of the country.
Right. And that happens a lot, believe it or not. We've had people, like I'm in China and I can't communicate all the time.
Yeah.
Like, well, you should have told us. Like, we're thinking that the deal's dead and you're just on a 12-hour plane ride, and not have a great connection. So those are the kind of agents that we work with. There's also another one, like there's the Fonz from Happy Days. Hey, it's just everything's gonna be all right. Let's just let me get out my comb and comb my hair, and don't worry about anything, and it's just gonna be all right. And then there's one more, and I think this is the one that we enjoy working with, and it's the one that I think we try to be. And this is not a comedy thing, but this would be more like the Obi-Wan or the Yoda, where we try to just be the calmness, the sage, the person of wisdom that just comes in and can calmly say, you know what? There's a greater force at work here.
Yeah.
And
but
it's all gonna
who
work
is
out.
capable of wielding a lightsaber if he needs to? If he needs to use that force and
That's
get
right.
involved, he can do it.
And
he will.
Now, where does he hold that lightsaber on his body?
I don't know.
I don't know how that
But it's
works.
real cute in the movies,
Yeah,
that
right.
little body
Yeah.
with the lightsaber.
Exactly. So those are some different personality types that we work with. And it really is for us trying to navigate when we work with our sellers with these different personality types.
Mm-hmm.
And these are just like agents that we've worked with. But also there are sellers and buyers that also have personalities like this. There are lenders that have personality like there are vendors in escrow and in title.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the longer you are in this business, the more you kind of gravitate towards that. Hey, we're just going to be a solid communicator.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be provide you wisdom, but understand that you make all the decisions as the client. But we're going to tell you from our experience where we've been, and we want to bring that calm, like to all of these personalities. If we have an under communicator, we got to pull that out. If we have an over communicator, we got to say, hey, we don't need to know all that stuff. It's okay. Like, I know you want to communicate, but we're good. If we have a passive aggressive person, we got to figure that out too.
Yeah.
So we just thought we'd have a little fun today with our episode.
And hey, if you have ideas of characters that we should have included, let us know
In the comments.
in the comments
below.
section.
Yeah. And if you found this helpful, like, subscribe, tell somebody, share it. give us a heart, and we'd love to hear
Do
you back.
do
We'd love
all
to have you back here.
do all the things.
That's right. So until next time, you know what we do?
We sell homes.
That's right. God bless. We'll talk to you next time. Thanks for listening to the Home Seller's Advantage. The Bald Brothers team is a licensed DBA of Real Broker, licensed by the California Department of Real Estate, number 02022-092. Again, we do not give any real estate, legal, or financial advice. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can call us at 833-305-BALD, or you can reach us online at baldbrothers.tv. Equal housing opportunity.